Would you believe me if I told you that I have never been to a music festival in my entire life? Well, that all changed around a month and a half ago, as I went to one of the greatest cultural experiences a metalhead could ever go to. This is ProgPower USA 2025. In this new 3-part series, we will be going over all 3 days I went to the festival, plus all the fun stories I had to tell. So climb aboard and let me tell you about my time at ProgPower USA 2025. Getting to the festival was pretty easy. All I had to do was take the MARTA train from the College Park station to the Arts Center station in downtown Atlanta, and then walk 2 or 3 blocks to the venue. Oh look, heathens! After that hilarity, we all got inside pretty easy, and I kid you not, within the first few seconds of getting inside, I wound up meeting festival founder Glenn Harveston. If you're watching this, hi Glenn, and after posting myself up in the theater, the festival can finally begin. Opening day 2 was Alterium, a new symphonic power metal band out of Italy who were making their US debut. Take a shot every time I say US debut. I promise you, there's going to be a lot in this series. But they were pretty good. If you're a fan of Italian power metal bands like Labyrinth and Rhapsody of Fire, they're right up your alley. Around halfway through their set, their frontwoman asked if there were any Sabaton fans in the audience, and then they started singing Bismarck. Hands down, my highlight of the set. Fanboying aside, this was a great way to kick off day 2. Alterium put on a great performance, and I highly recommend you check them out if they ever come to your neck of the woods. And speaking of countries with awesome power metal scenes, up next was Mygind from Brazil, who were also making their US debut. Take a shot. They also did really good, in spite of their bad sound issues. Here's a quick question. What do you get when you add Tom England of Evergrey, Jim Gray of Caligula's Horse, and Roy Kahn from Camelot and Conception? You get Mygind's new album, Espresso della Vita, Lunaire. It's a fun listen, but a long one, but it's really good. Mygind put on a great performance. If you're a fan of classic progressive power metal bands like Angra, Evergrey, and Symphony X, then I think you'll like these guys. Definitely check them out. Now, how do you follow that up? With a taste of Canadian extremity. As up next on the bill were Canada's own Anciients, and my word, what a set they put on. These guys might have been formed in 2013, but they played like they had been around for over 40 years, and I kid you not, a mosh pit literally broke out right behind me. So you could probably say that my back was to the action, which I'm totally cool with. This was their first US tour in over 8 years. Supporting their new album Beyond the Reaches of the Sun. I wound up having to leave 30 minutes into their set to try and meet Sonata Arctica, but that did not work out very well. But I can confidently say that I loved everything that I saw and heard from this band. Also, I don't think I want to go near a mosh pit anytime soon. Right after that was one of the most anticipated sets for many people, myself included, Chicago's own November's Doom. And all I can say is, wow, I loved this set. A massive wall of progressive death doom hitting you right in the face. It was magical. Paul Kerr's vocals were enchanting, as was the band's set. They played a mix of old and new songs, including 2 tracks off their new album, Major Arcana, which is really good and I highly recommend you check it out. In fact, I don't remember exactly when, but I had to leave during their set to do something with the ATM in the building, and I wound up meeting the singer for Alterium. And after the performance, I wound up meeting the whole band, which is something I should point out. Bands and musicians who aren't even playing the festival will just come and hang out and be fans. Case in point, for a couple songs of November's Doom set, I wound up hanging out with the bassist and the singer for Mygind. And I wound up doing so again for the next band on stage. Who was that next band, I hear you all asking? Well, it was none other than Denmark's own Vola. Oh my gosh, this was an awesome set. I had never heard progressive metal like this, and I was floored instantly. The Metal Archives is doing this band a disservice, and they know it. This was their first time at the festival since, let me check my notes. Oh, 2023! Yeah, this band is a festival favorite. They became very popular, and it's not hard to see why. Their first 6 songs had me won over instantly, and I was immediately captivated by their atmospheric sound. And as I alluded to earlier, I wound up hanging out with the singer and bassist from Mygind for a couple of songs, and I think we can all agree that this was among the highlight performances of the festival. Vola's style of prog is very unique to them. This isn't some kind of stare into death and be still by ulcerate style of progressive metal. This is pure, full-on action. And I love me some action in my heavy metal. Overall, an absolutely amazing performance, and I highly recommend you give these guys both a listen and a chance to see them live if they ever come to your town. After their performance, I hung out with my new friends before we all headed into the pit for the headliner of Day 2, the reigning kings of Finnish power metal, Sonata Arctica. It is always a good choice to have Finnish power metal on a festival lineup, unless you're a Danny Wimmer event, but that's neither here nor there. This was my first time seeing them live, and this was their first time performing the festival since they last headlined back in 2007. Other than their first 2 songs, this was an entirely old school set, comprising of classics such as Broken, Replica, Wolf and Raven, and Full Moon. And yes, dear viewer, there was not a shut mouth in the house when they played that last one. I can confidently say that they were the highlight of Day 2 for me. Big shout out to Sonata Arctica for an amazing performance, and big shout out to their frontman Tony for thanking Glenn for making this an amazing festival, cause it truly is. He also thanked us in the audience for supporting local artists and local venues. Tony, if you're watching this, you're the man. And as the final notes of the Band of Brothers theme played over the PA, Day 2 came to a close for me, and I bid my new friends farewell before I headed home to get some sleep. Yes, I know sleep is a crime in the metal world, but I don't care. Overall, this was an absolutely amazing start to the weekend for me, and I can definitely tell you that we still have 2 more days of neck-breaking insanity to go over. Will the Germans deliver the most unusual headlining performance the festival has ever seen? Will the Swedes take me on a magical train ride that, as a rail fan, I know I will wholeheartedly enjoy without question? And will the world's most unusual progressive rock supergroup deliver whilst being backed by technical death metal saxophone? We shall find out. And find out we shall on the next episode of my recap of ProgPower USA 2025. I want to thank you all very much for watching my first ever YouTube video, and I want to thank the friends I made at the festival for helping me have a good time. If any of you are watching this, sound off in the comments below. And if any of you want to experience ProgPower USA for the first time, you can! Tickets for days 3 and 4 are already sold out, but tickets for day 2 go on sale on November 1st, 2025. With that said, my name is Cal, and until we meet again, I will catch you trackside. Have a good night, everybody.